Hi there. My name is Kay Moon, and I'm a twin flame channel and Western astrologer. And this is a video with a channeled message about welcoming twin born children to planet Earth. I had a dream download a bit ago that my guides and I had sat in council, and they provided the message that there will be a wave of babies that will come through divine counterparts between 2021 and 2023. Some of these children, these souls, will come through the soulmate and the divine masculine. Others will come through the divine masculine and divine feminine. These children are light workers coming to assist Earth through a very difficult period of time. The cry for help, for more assistance, has been heard from the intergalactic realms. And these souls who are choosing to join us on Earth at this point in time are here to help bend the arc of Earth's trajectory, continue to move it toward love, continue to move it toward wisdom, toward light. And these children are light workers. These children need at least one parent to be twin born, to be of the light, to be an initiate of love. It doesn't have to be both, it can be one of you or the other. And in many cases, it will be both. It will be divine masculine and divine feminine. However, in the cases where it is not, where there is a soulmate involved, I had some questions for my guides about that. And I said, you know what? Why can't it just be divine masculine and divine feminine? You know, why would there be a soulmate involved in the circumstance? And they had two explanations for me around that, for us, I should say. The first is that uh, when twins come together, and they reminded me of a channeled message they provided before. I'll link to that below. I can't remember what it is at this time, what it's called, but I remember the visuals of it. When twins come together, there's a high frequency light code exchange that occurs that reshapes each of them from an energetic, a DNA perspective that otherwise you just don't get that level of transformation in exchange with someone who's not the twin. And that level of transformation and exchange, it's necessary, it's part of the mission. When you come into those light codes and those frequencies of love, and then all the things of your life start to crumble, it's not because your life is falling apart. It's what's happening is love is breaking through. Love is actually showing you the truth of, what kind of job would actually be a better expression of love, what kind of relationships in your life need to dissolve, which ones need to transform, which ones need to come closer together. All these things that happen when twins meet one another and it feels like life is completely falling apart is part of the process. It's part of the way love is working through you to transform you and thus transform the world. The process can be so destabilizing that it's not conducive to a dependent soul like a baby showing up while that process is going on. Likewise, and because of that, I should say, the introduction of a soulmate in those circumstances can be a stabilizing feature for, and this is just technicals, is what they gave me. They really, one of the reasons I am able to channel the things that I channel is because they really don't care about my feelings. It's horrible to say, but they really don't. I'm able to hear things that I would rather not hear because I prefer to have the truth rather than have my feelings be coddled. So they tell me what the truth is. And they said, look, sometimes this is just so destabilizing that in those circumstances where that level of exchange is going on, and the counterparts, divine masculine and divine feminine, have agreed, like, yeah, we have it in us to let a child come through. It just can't come through the two of us. A soulmate somehow needs to be involved to create stability, because the soulmates don't get triggered in the same way. On the etheric, they were just explaining and showing that, there has been divine agreement between the three, that this child will be twin born. It'll come through either divine masculine or divine feminine, but the stabilizing feature will be a soulmate to be a part of holding up the container that this light worker soul will need. It'll help stabilize things. The other circumstance that they showed me, why a soulmate could be involved. It's not for every circumstance. For many circumstances, it will be the divine counterparts, but in some circumstances, a soulmate will be involved. It'll be a circumstance in which the soul has chosen, which twin partnership and pattern template they want to incarnate through. The divine counterparts have agreed, and one or both of them is on mission in such a way in the 3D world at this time that the arrival of a dependent would actually cause a great splitting in consciousness for that counterpart, or it would cause a splitting of attention, a splitting of time, a splitting of energy, such that they could be part parent or they could be part on mission, but they wouldn't be fully on either, and things would suffer. And so they said, in that circumstance, again, on the etheric, there's been agreement between soulmate, divine counterpart. Yes, we will be the the container for this soul to come through. We will shepherd this soul through. But we will have, this circumstance where it's the three of us, not just one or the other. So, if that's happening, the message that they have around this is understand that there is nothing that is happening in the material world that wasn't already fully agreed upon in the 5D. If you want to think about it that way, it wasn't already agreed upon in the etheric. So just because we are not consciously aware of those agreements doesn't mean that they weren't agreed. The second message they had about this was that there's a time factor to this, because this is such a unique inflection point on planet Earth, a unique transformation point. 2021, 2022, 2023. These particular years, these souls have signed up to come through like now, because Earth needs them right now. And their vibration, their frequency, the schools they end up going through, the questions they end up asking, the people they end up interacting with, the leadership they end up providing from a very young age is going to assist Earth in continuing to, and not Earth itself, but the beings on planet Earth, in moving toward more love, embodying more love, stepping away from divisive consciousness and stepping into more unity consciousness. So the time factor around it just meant like, yeah, now's the time. And circumstantially, yes, twins and those that could handle having a child come through, whether it's between the two and or with a soulmate, are the ones who have said yes. So if this is your circumstance, I applaud you. I thank you. I honor you. And just know that we are so grateful for your service. As a woman of the flesh, I'm human too. I definitely get it if you're in the camp of someone who is having a child with someone who's not your twin, or your twin is having a child with someone who's not you. I get it, how that could be very challenging to receive. And simultaneously, I implore you, and this was what my guides had really provided, for me as guidance. They said, this is going to be more difficult for the children than it will be for you. Know that they are not coming to, out of harm or disrespect for your union with your counterpart. They're coming to serve the, unity consciousness of all on planet Earth. And, they hope that they will be welcomed, that you will love them as much as they loved planet Earth and the beings on it to come here and do this work at this time. So, yeah, that's the message. And I thank you so much for liking, subscribing, watching, and sharing.